Hey everyone, it's Dave. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good week. Today we're just going through a little bit of investing updates, seeing how my portfolio's been doing, talking a little bit about the overall markets, as well as how the stocks that we talk about a lot on this channel have been performing, Rocket Lab, as well as a few other space stocks and some other of my bigger holdings. Sorry I haven't been able to make as many videos as I wanted to lately, but life has gotten in the way. Anyway, I'm glad to finally be checking in with you guys once again. If you're new here, I hope you will consider subscribing if you find these types of videos interesting. It is very useful to the continued growth of the channel, and if you are currently a subscriber, it is very much appreciated. I think I'm also going to share with you some of the channel analytics. I'm thinking of making a video like this on a monthly basis, checking in on both how my stocks are doing as well as how the channel is doing. I'll leave that to the end. If you're not too interested in that, you can just close the video or move on to something else. But in case some of you are interested, I will share that stuff as well and maybe do a video like this on a monthly basis. All right, with that out of the way, let's dive into some stocks. Alrighty, so on a 1 month basis, obviously things have been amazing, and I'm not trying to sit here and say that I'm some kind of a genius, because honestly, in a market like this, everybody looks like a genius and everybody's having a great time, unless you're one of the rare few who, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy it when it comes around. So looking at a 1 month rate of return, we've gotten over 20% here on a monthly basis. Love to see it, obviously, can't complain. A lot of factors at play, mostly macro and not actually related to the companies themselves. It's not like they just grew their earnings dramatically or something like that. My two biggest single companies, Rocket Lab and Tesla, have been benefiting from rate cuts, from a less restrictive financing environment, people moving more into risk-on assets. Obviously, the election results did cause a lot of space stocks to move up dramatically for some reason, and Elon and his association with Trump obviously is seen as good news for Tesla, and that stock has moved up dramatically as well. I stay away from the politics side of things here, but I do have to mention it because it has had a dramatic impact on those stocks. So, 1 year basis now, zooming a little bit further out, still absolutely amazing. We're at about an 80% rate of return here on 1 year, so almost a double over 1 year, and really enjoying that. The portfolio is at all-time highs now, and that's despite having to withdraw some money for, wedding expenses and other things. Feeling really good, trying not to get too carried away. I've said many times that when you're at this euphoria, everything going up, it feels like it's never going to stop. This is when people tend to start making mistakes, whether that's using margin, getting a little too carried away with options trading and stuff like that. So for the most part, I'm trying to keep it simple, continue holding long, good stocks, which I think Rocket Lab and Tesla generally both are, as well as some other space companies, and I do hold NVIDIA as well as a few other tech companies and some broader indexes for that safety and stability side of things. I'm not one to go full YOLO on my portfolio, but despite that, obviously amazing rate of return here. Zooming out even further on a 2-year basis, we're over 100% rate of return now, meaning that's more than a double. So last 2 years have been great, but to put that in context, 2 years ago, we had a massive crash and my portfolio did worse than many others because Tesla really took a nosedive after, running up too high too fast, going from like $400 per share down to like $100 per share. So this 2-year return, yes, absolutely amazing, but that is coming from what was a very painful time for the portfolio. Let me know if you were investing around then as well. I'm sure we all had some rough times, but glad we made it through it, and now we have to enjoy the good times while they're here. So 100% return on a 2-year basis. And yeah, really enjoying this market right now. Talking about the specific stocks that I do talk about on this channel, basically, I'm a little unclear how transparent I should be with my own holdings. So I've decided when it comes to stocks I tell you about, in this channel, whether it's a Rocket Lab or other space companies or some others. I will be fully transparent with my positions and my cost basis, how much I own, when I buy, when I sell. I think that's just the right thing to do when you're talking YouTube. I don't tell you guys my full portfolio of other, index funds or stocks that I don't talk about on the channel. I'm happy to talk about those, but they just don't seem to be as interesting to you guys. So I stick to what you're interested in. So without disclosing the full value of my portfolio, what I'll say here is that Rocket Lab has been amazing. 15,190 shares now. Bought those shares for $66,000. The market value now about $200,000. It was above $200,000, now just dipped slightly below, but I'm not going to complain about that at all. So that means an unrealized profit of $133,000 on my Rocket Lab shares. I also bought a call option, a long-term call option, or LEAP if you're familiar with option terminology, just because I thought it'd be fun, I thought it'd be a good investment, and I thought you guys might find it interesting to track how the option moves versus how the shares move if you're not as familiar with it. So the shares, I do have over a double, more like a triple at this point. When it comes to the call option, though, I've got pretty much a 7x. So I bought it for a little over $1,000. It's now worth over $7,000. Believe me, I've been kicking myself for not buying more of these long-term call options. To be honest, I thought I had a little bit more time before Rocket Lab would make its big move. As I've said previously, I was expecting closer to Neutron's first launch, but turns out the macro markets play a much bigger role than I anticipated, and with the election, with interest rates dropping, with people moving back into riskier assets, the stock took off before I made that final big purchase that I really wanted to on options and made that big bet. But I can't complain because I still have a very large Rocket Lab position worth $207,000. So yeah, massive gains, massive position for me. Do let me know how you're doing as well on your shares if you'd like to down below. I know some viewers actually have a lot more shares than me, and I'm always jealous of that fact. Never really get away from that competitiveness for some reason. Other space stocks, just because I do talk a lot about space investing on this channel. So Intuitive Machines is one I do have a couple small positions in. I bought some shares a little while ago. Those have obviously benefited from the run-up in space stocks as well. I guess investors are thinking that maybe we'll see some more investment in the space industry with a new incoming administration. I only spent about $990 on these shares, and now it's worth closer to $2,000. So a nice little return here on something I bought maybe a month or two ago. Again, wish I'd bought more. I also bought a call option just because I thought there might be some news coming out that would move the stock big. That hasn't actually happened, but nonetheless, the overall markets have pulled lunar higher. So my profits for that call option also higher, as it's more of a high risk, high return investment or trade, if you will. This one, I don't know, I might take the gains on it. I'm still kind of looking for that NSN Part 2 contract to get announced and maybe push lunar higher, but yeah, we'll wait and see what happens on that one. Of course, my other two space stocks have not been doing quite as well. Planet Labs I've held for a long time. Been a bit of a dog, to be honest. They haven't really grown their revenues anywhere near as much as we were hoping. Still just hanging on to those shares. Definitely not a large part of my portfolio at all. But I do kind of like the thesis and long-term vision of Planet, even if I'm somewhat less happy with execution lately, as well as management and the growth, the revenue growth. Like, I bought it as a revenue growth kind of play, and it's really turned into more of a slow burn, if you will. Redwire was doing quite well, just had some bad earnings results, so I'm pretty much flat on them, up $300 or so. Yeah, I have to dive into those earning results in more depth to see what's going on. I know they did, I believe, take on some more debt and their cash position dropped, which wasn't unexpected because they made an acquisition. But yeah, I really need to dive into those results in more depth. I just haven't had a lot of time lately, unfortunately. Tesla, my other big stock that I own, has obviously done well over the last 3 months. We're looking at a 65% gain on a 3-month basis. So it was around $200 a share. Now it's $317. Obviously, I love to see it. Now, I did go through pretty much 2 years of a downtrend with Tesla, and it's been a frustrating period, but it feels like that's kind of come to an end now, and hopeful for the future with Robotaxi, with Optimus, with new Tesla models and stuff like that as well. So doing very well on my Tesla shares, and that is a big contributor to those gains I showed you previously in the overall portfolio. Now, this one is kind of experimental. You guys tell me down below if you're not interested in this at all. I don't have to share it with you. Maybe I'm just kind of sharing for complete transparency, and if you have ever been curious about YouTube revenues and how that goes. So this is my sweet YouTube income for you. Obviously, I can't quit my day job anytime soon. In the past month, I've made about $450 off of YouTube. There you go. Many thanks to the channel members, because a significant portion of this is you guys signing up to support the channel every month. If you took that out, I'd probably be more like $250, $300 worth of revenue for just the ads. Certainly not time to quit my day job, but the subscriber numbers have been good for the month, going up about 800. Oh my God, I can't draw a arrow apparently. Anyway, 800 new subscribers for the month. Watch time, I don't have an up arrow. I have a check mark, which means it's about average. So I wasn't able to make as many videos as I think I usually do per month. There's just been too much going on in my personal life, in my day job, and all the rest. So that's okay, but views have been up a little bit, 5,400 more than usual. So we have, 3 green up arrows and 1 check mark. What you really want, of course, is 4 green up arrows to keep averaging upwards every month, but I'll take it. As I said, I haven't been able to make quite as many videos as I want, and I think I still am on track for that big goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It felt like a long shot at the start of the year, but it looks like I'm on track to make it. And yeah, thank you for watching and contributing to any of these numbers. Hopefully you found this kind of behind the scenes look in the YouTube analytics interesting, and what a channel of my size at around 8,000 subscribers can expect to make off of YouTube. Certainly not making me a millionaire anytime soon. But it is a lot of fun to do, and I get to meet a lot of cool people like yourself and hang out with you, talk in live streams, talk in chat, get a lot of new investing ideas, and I've certainly done a lot more research on investing than I would have if I didn't have the channel, so I think it has led to some good returns on my portfolio. If I didn't make this channel, I probably wouldn't have researched Rocket Lab so much and bought so heavy in that stock. So in a way, the channel has led to those great returns, and I'm not complaining whatsoever. Hope you guys found this interesting. Hope you're also having great returns like I am on the stock markets. If so, do share down below what your best holdings are and how much you've gained, all that kind of stuff if you want to continue the conversation. We also have a link to our Discord server in the description down below, where we do have these discussions on a day-to-day basis. I'll probably do these updates on a monthly basis going forward, talking about the overall stock market as well as space stocks and my portfolio if you're interested. And do let me know if you find the YouTube analytics stuff interesting, or you're really just here for the info on the space stocks. I'm okay either way, but I figured I would just try including it to see what you all think. I hope you do have a great day. I will be back with regular scheduled programming shortly, hopefully talking about Rocket Lab in a bit more depth, as well as some other space stocks. And of course, we've got the earnings call coming up, and I'll be sure to live stream that if I can, as well as give you some thoughts on the numbers afterward. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.